We seem to be in Agatha's cave.
How did we end up here?
I've no idea.
The teleporter behind you.
A glass dome. Inquisitively, you pick up the glass dome to inspect it more closely. Astounding. Within the dome's wall of glass is contained the entire island realm, quartz tower and all.
Oh, wow. We were inside the dome.
Astounding.
So Agatha shrunk herself and came in here as well. That's a cool change. I love that.
Why ever would you want to take that?
This item denied you of your freedom. It is only right that you may do as you please with it. Or you could accept it as a wedding gift.
Valanice takes the dome from your hand.
It's going in the pause.
I shall keep it as a reminder that, regardless of what transpires from this point on, I have experienced worse.
Okay, maybe not. Is this an appropriate place to give her this?
This is hardly the most appropriate time to marry the girl, don't you think?
I mean, look at the ambiance.
The iron cauldron. It is too heavy to move. It is too hot to pick up. And as for taking a bath, unfortunately you are... There is nothing else inside the cloak. The atmosphere of the cave is not quite right for a romantic setting.
You think? With all these skulls and spines around the place.
Graham, I don't like this place. Let's leave.
Is Agatha outside? Ah!
As you exit the cave, you notice that it is night already. Also, the two of you seem to have some company.
Beautiful night, yes?
Yes, certainly. To what do we owe the, pleasure of your visit?
Why, King Graham, surely you do not still think of me as the enemy?
Possibly.
If I had wanted you destroyed, it would have been a simple enough thing to do. No, I have come only to ask a question of you, if I may.
Of course. And what would this question be?
I wish to know, have either of you ever seen a wedding ceremony performed and orchestrated by a highly experienced and rather exceptional mage?
Not really.
I cannot say that I...
Oh boy.
Well then, prepare yourselves. I promise you both that this will be a night to remember.
But we can't tell anyone about it in Daventry. Went in Kalima and all that, but Jesus fuck.
People of Colima, it is my desire to be reinstated as your custodian and protector, if you will still have me.
The crowd is silent. Then a murmur. It grows until finally everybody cheers in agreement and support.
This bastard's using our wedding ceremony to push his own agenda.
Very well. Therefore, with the power and authority you have reinvested in me, I wish to conduct the ceremony of these two deserving people who have chosen to join together in marriage. Behold!
You would think they would at least get the fire going. Oh, wow. Is that King Edward on the left? It looks like him.
King Graham of Daventry, do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife, to love and to hold, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Lady Valanice, do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband, to love and to hold, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Do you have a wedding band?
Yes, it is a gift from Anastasia's parents.
What are you wearing? The pumpkins are here, the ducks are here.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. I think you know what comes next.
Is that Bassman on the right-hand side next to the Grim Reaper? I've got no mouse cursor, so I can't put it there.
The crowd's jubilance reaches a new height. The people of Kalima seem only too eager to rejoice in your newfound happiness.
I cannot thank you enough for your service to me in ensuring the safety of my family. Without the Brotherhood's moral decadence of old, the people of Kalima can finally move forward.
And I will not forget the chance you have given my husband and I to spend an eternity together.
Your kindness will always be remembered.
Damn, that voice. Okay, librarians on the rise.
Your valor and bravery shall echo in the Mer people's songs for ages to come.
Dwarfs on the left.
The legacy of your homeland lives on, due to your exemplary honor.
Who is that?
Now, King Graham, it is time for you to take your bride to her new home.
But my ship, my crew...
It's been a few days.
I have sent them home already. By now, they will have notified everyone of your imminent arrival.
Imminent arrival?
Trust me.
Oh boy. How did everyone get here? Did he teleport them in?
Good luck, Graham.
I wish you all the best, both of you.
Give my regards to the father.
The leader of our army. There we go.
As the vapor subsides, a deafening roar erupts from the audience. All have come to bear witness to your return and the coronation of your new bride.
Welcome back, Your Majesty. And may I say, never have I seen a more beautiful and stunning bride than the one you have returned with.
Do you lead our armies, Gervain?
I trust you found your journey through Kalima void of peril or incident.
Yeah.
Agatha told me of your treachery. Who are you? Why do you call yourself the father? What are you searching for?
I had a feeling it might have been him, but the face was different.
You need only know this. You would do best not to treat one like I in such a manner.
We should slay you on the spot.
I must, with much regret, inform you all of a great treachery in our fair land. This man, he who has sworn loyalty to Daventry and its crown, is a traitor. He has conspired to have me slain away from home with the intention of pursuing his own insidious ambitions here. Guards, seize him!
You have made a terrible mistake, you know.
Guard, halt. Stand back.
That was clearly recorded in post.
Prepared to fight for your life, are you? And with an old fool's sword. Be warned. You do not know who you are facing. Your ignorance shall destroy you. On guard!
I had a feeling it was him right from the start, but I didn't want to say it. Oh, this is not a good way of doing a sword fight, but whatever. I do appreciate that the game didn't tell us until this very moment, though. The leader of the army, Graham should have known that, and he did.
It is over.
I think not.
Thrice now I curse, and from the first, your family shall feel the worst. Soon shall you see they'll surely be in the most dire jeopardy. Then as your foe, 'tis I who will sow the spell to cause your heart to slow. And for my shame for you the same, over Daventry your heir shall reign.
There's definitely a King's Quest IV reference there. Who was he, really?
Who was that man?
I don't know, but I will find out someday. I swear it.
Is that something we learn in 7 or 8?
Listen, we will deal with any curses as we find them, or as they find us. Come, you must show me around your kingdom. I wish to become accustomed with the realm in which we will be raising our children.
What about your coronation?
Who cares?
Later.
I got interrupted earlier, but how did everyone get to the reception at Dracula's castle? I've forgotten what his name is. Dracula? Whatever. How did everyone get through the maze of brambles? Did they just teleport everyone there? I'm guessing so. Oh, they added so much stuff. And I mentioned this at the end of the previous VGA game, but I'm in two minds as to whether it's good or not. It's very high quality, I can give it that. But I think they may have gone overboard just a tad here with all of this father stuff. I hope that does tie into some of the later lore in the series. I definitely don't remember King's Quest 5 or 6 that well to be able to say whether it's tied to those games. I have virtually no knowledge of King's Quest 3. I remember a little bit about 4. His speech at the end there was a King's Quest 4 reference there where he said your heart will slow. Minor spoilers for 4. Maybe it's referring to events in 7 and 8. But like I said, I really do like that Graham kept that Lovely. There's some very funny credits at the end there. King Edward appearing with Daventry Resurrection Inc. and whatever the other one was. Like I was saying, I really like the fact that King Graham kept the fact that it was Gervain's secret. Because I mentioned that as soon as he said, or someone said, it's the leader of your army, Graham knew who that was.
You scored less than 185 points. We encourage you to play again and try for the top score. Thanks for playing. We hope you enjoyed King's Quest II, Romancing the Stones.
I can absolutely say I enjoyed that. I do question whether they went overboard with some of the additions. But there's no denying that this is an extremely high quality product, and I'm incredibly impressed by what they've done. I'm kind of blown away, actually. Alright. We're not done. I need to find the last couple of points. We're missing 6 points, and I suspect I can get the majority here. What I'll do now is take a look at a walkthrough, and I'll either do a full playthrough, or I'll cut in with the relevant information in just a sec. Alright, I'm not sure how much of my editing I'm going to leave in. I recorded another 20 minutes or so from the previous session where I took a look around, found some points, and did a few things. But looking at the full walkthrough, I can see that I'm going to need to do a full playthrough here, involving the library books amongst other things. So what I'll do is I'll play through this, and I'll cut in when we get to the relevant parts.
My name is Graham. What is yours? I will...
You're going to become a vampire, ma'am. So, this door here. I thought I used a sword to get the library card, but apparently we can also use the stake. Let me check that.
You're not close. Making sure that no one is watching.
It mentions a thin blade. Also, I didn't mean to click that. Let's get closer. Can I put the stake under here?
Making sure that no one is watching, you slide the wooden picket under the door and draw out what appears to be a letter.
That's kind of cool. That would get completely different voice lines for that.
You open the Dear Apple.
So the first change is right here. And I can see reading the walkthrough, we're going to come back here many times. Oh, I'm so salty about that. It was the right idea. I just need to get the timing correct.
You quickly grab the... You replace...
Will you accept this?
Yes, you are. I see.
So,
Borrow.
you mean I can...
No.
Oh.
Yes?
Could you recommend a good book?
There.
We have not read this book.
The librarian has placed the book on the desk for you to read. Thoughtful, isn't she? This book is entitled Kalima, Perfect One Day, Better the Next. Browsing through it, you notice an interesting excerpt.
If you are considering traveling to the wondrous land of Kalima, then you should be congratulated on your timing. For indeed, it has changed much since creation many years ago. The very occasional earthquake has altered the land to the east somewhat, creating deep chasms near the mountainside. The changing ocean levels in this region have caused an alteration in the shape of the coastline, and, of course, the people themselves have relocated from where they once lived. Most now reside in the town, which is nestled in the safety of the mountains. A wise decision, for more than a few have claimed to hear the sounds of howling at night, a sign that many wild animals have moved into Weirdwood Forest in recent times. As a result, few venture past the town gates, especially after dark. This isolation and the relative scarcity of people throughout most of the realm has made Kalima a haven for the tourist who wishes to soak up the natural atmosphere of the land. It has also made a significant convenience for those who have settled in Kalima far from the town and wish to maintain their privacy to pursue their own ambitions in peace. The realm of Kalima is a wondrous land of beauty and, for the adventurous among you, danger. See also, Guidebook to the Land of the Green Isles. That's not a reference at all. Not to King's Quest VI. This is very funny though. This is just saying that, yeah, the map has changed. It changed from the EGA version to the VGA version. That's, I think that's kind of impressive.
This book is entitled You Have Nothing Else to Say at the Moment. You have...
So we don't get to read the other book until later. In fact, we're going to be coming back here a few times according to the guide. But yeah, reading that book is worth 1 point. That's one of the 6 that I missed. Right, we shall return later. What do we do with that tree?
You filled...
It almost looks like an unused asset. Why is it up here?
You peer behind the palm tree. You take the basket.
I guess it's well hidden behind there that less people will find it, but I'm kind of impressed that that's RNG. I assume there's a few other places in the map where it can spawn, not just on that stump and not at the beach up there. We've heard his other accent twice now, but we'll hear it properly in context right now. Are you twins? You two are totally twins.
You have...
If I were to...
A trifle...
I fear...
Curious.
Good point. Talking...
Might you...
The merchant...
Of value...
And that is...
Pearls.
Now I can give him the pearl.
Would you be interested?
Indeed.
The merchant.
Oh, what a beauty. This will be worth a fortune back home.
And he leaves because we've already taken the pumpkin. Okay. Not that. There is no one there. So apparently we can read a different book now.
Yes?
Could you recommend another good book?
Oh, I can't emphasize how much I hate this.
There!
You've got to come back at random points during the game and query her to see if she has another book. Because when we read that, that's going to give us another point.
This book is entitled Way Below Your League, a look at sentient aquatic life. Browsing through it, you notice an interesting excerpt.
About the sharkies? Wish to explore the sea? Good luck. Even the most accomplished swimmers cannot swim very far before they tire or are pulled underwater by the currents. Even with a ship, it is difficult to properly explore beneath the surface without some means of breathing underwater. Truly, only the mer people have ever been known to offer aid in this regard. Though the relationship between land dwellers and their marine counterparts has been somewhat strained over the years, it is said that the mer people, in particular their leader, King Neptune, can appraise an individual quite accurately. In fact, they seem to possess a natural ability to sense whether a person intends hostility towards them or not. That's a very useful attribute. Fortunately for the would-be adventurer to their underwater kingdom, they are a peaceful people, not prone to unwarranted acts of violence. The mer people's nature, lovely use of the apostrophe there, well done, is in sharp contrast to that of their neighbours, the sharkies, who live in seclusion in the deeper, darker waters of the ocean. Little is known about them, except that they are fearsome to behold and do not take kindly to visitors. They are rumoured to be excessively xenophobic, and hence have avoided contact with most of the outside world. It can be assumed that trespassers into their territory would be dealt with swiftly and harshly. You're not wrong.
You have nothing else to say at the moment.
So maybe after each major plot point, getting the gem, whatever else, we come back here and look at another book. But I would not have even thought of that. We looked at the one book at the end of the main game playthrough and I thought that was it. Ugh. Okay, let me go under the sea. If anything interesting happens, I will cut in. There's a note on the walkthrough that says do not skip, but I'm not sure what it's referring to here.
Having an look at it.
I'm playing on max speed here and it feels like he's swimming so slowly, holy crap. Ah, okay, we've got a skip button there.
You push on the...
If that was there on the original playthrough, I did not see it. But if we skip that, we miss out on the points. So this one we definitely can't skip, and I realised it during the game. We get 3 points for doing this action sequence. If we skip it, we do not get the points. And yeah, I was concerned about this.
As you emerge, suddenly you...
He of noble and goodwill, royal trident thou may wield.
That is definitely the solution.
You want... Oh.
I was concerned that maybe there was something else, but no. Also, looking at the walkthrough, we do not need to murder the sharkies on our way out. We totally can if we wanted to, but we don't have to. I'll just pass by the entrance just because I can.
This is...
And I do see that I actually screwed up my underwater map here. The bostle is not in that position, it's on the left-hand side there. Ah! The hell am I? I need to go up one. Jesus.
Sneezing.
Yeah, I can't click through that.
Thanks.
but I can totally escape through it. It works in some places and not others. It is wildly inconsistent. And while we're here, we once again need to read a book.
Yes?
Could you recommend another good book?
There!
What do we have this time?
This book is entitled Legends. Browsing through it, you notice an interesting excerpt.
Daventry's first king, known to many as Legitimor, is as much an enigma of history as he is woven into the fabric of legend itself. Though his passing occurred nearly 1,000 years ago, it remains somewhat unclear as to the manner of his death and what became of the power he wielded. Historians do know that Legitimor was a powerful magician, or a wizard, as he might be called nowadays. He is largely credited with bringing, along with his kind, magic and civility to Daventry and the surrounding world. We invented magic? Huh. According to legend, during what was arguably the bloodiest war Daventry has ever seen, Legitimor sought to commit his awesome power to the cosmos. It is believed that he blamed himself for the extent of the Grand War, in particular, the magic that had been used to exacerbate the death toll. He therefore chose to render himself mortal, an action that would prove to be his last. However, legend would also suggest that his power may be attainable if only one were to perceive and understand how and when. This is evidenced by parchments located just a few centuries ago and dated 30 years after the first king's death. Is this King's Quest 3 stuff or something else? Don't know. Oh god. If seekest you the power of Legitimor, thou shalt be well appraised. It will not be an easy task, for the path thou may be swayed. For in great Daventry lies the means for which it may be found, belonging to one who rules the land, by one who wears the crown. From this circle nature springs, from royal thoughts thus sown, though woe betide the unjust thief who claims it for his own. In this great land 'tis known to rest the corpse of Legitimor, who died defending his home turf in the long fiercest war. His great mistake which sealed his fate, he cast his magic aside, up high in the heavens which forever stretches wide. That's a very weird sentence. But the search may be rewarding for the seeker of this power, at its apex soon approaches, when cometh the darkest hour. Hark! Spy sun and moon and planets, as all of them align. The one prepared for the ascension will surely see the sign. Power thus can then be granted to just one from this great tool. If one be thee, then thou shalt be the everlasting jewel. That is what the father is looking for very clearly. The first king's brother, Morgellon? I don't know how to pronounce that, was also presumed killed in the Grand War. Legitimor's loyal first knight and successor, Granthathor, ruled over the realm for nearly 50 years. He sired a number of children who either remained to guarantee the continuation of the royal bloodline or set forth to build kingdoms of their own. Gervain must have been part of this. Maybe it's this guy. Morgellon? Maybe he renamed himself, maybe he's been hanging around for many years. Interesting. Right, so we need to leave now. And continue. No, we need to ask her for another book.
Yes?
Could you recommend another good book?
We've got a point for reading Legends, and we're going to get another point here.
There!
4 in total.
This book is entitled Power, Politics, and Pulpits. Browsing through it, you notice an interesting excerpt.
Oh my god, it's so dense! In many lands, the church and state have long shared a mutual distrust of one another. While the state is responsible for the wealth and security of the realm, the church's concern is for the moral standing of the population. It is said that when one intrudes upon the domain of the other, discord is inevitable. Relevance. In no other place has this been more unpleasant than Kalima. The feud between the two institutions there dates back many decades. In the days of the late Count Kraestrom, the Lord of Kalima spoke openly of the need for change, chiefly regarding the education of the common people. The Church of the Faith maintained that the simple people were of the land. They knew their rightful place, and thus their path was secure. Years later, the young and idealistic Count Caldor, Crestron's heir, declared that the Church of the Faith had purposely been holding the people back, retaining their ignorance of literature and the wider world for their own selfish benefits. Naturally, the Church resented this insinuation, and in turn declared Caldor a heathen. How old is this book? Caldor hasn't been dead that long, relatively speaking. At that time, the mood of the population had tensed. Stability in the realm had weakened as dissension between the church and state rose. It may have continued to do so, had the situation not been annulled by tragedy. The Count befell a terrible injury while in the forest one night, which later proved fatal. While it expressed its condolences to the family of the fallen lord, the Church of the Faith asserted that only through its own vision for Kalima, not the rulers, lovely city apostrophe, could the people find their true path. It is a curious point to note that no new leader has been chosen to replace Caldor, though it has been many years since his passing. How many years, really? When questioned about this, the townsfolk are likely to either ignore the inquiry altogether or cast a furtive glance in the direction of the now inaccessible castle. That's it.
You have nothing else to say at the moment.
That just gives us a lot of backstory. And it tells us, yeah, there's a castle, but not much else. Interesting. Not sure if actually useful in the context of the game, but interesting nevertheless. We've read 4 books. I was missing 6 points. I'm pretty certain I know where the other 2 points are because in my editing that I did or my testing that I did last night, I did see those 2 points. So there's probably going to be a large cut here. We're going all the way into Caldor's castle. Okay, I lied a bit. So apparently the walkthrough says, yeah, you just use one of the treasures on this beaker. It doesn't matter which one.
You flip the...
So in this case, I'm going to use the brooch.
You toss the brooch.
What else do I need to do? It's been a while. I've got to heat it, and then add the flour, or vice versa.
You toss.
Apparently we can use our sword to spark this.
You strike the blade of your sword against the flint stone. It sparks, and the wick catches alight. You watch, fascinated.
The mallet also works with that. The other thing we can do is we can use the mallet to remove the crystal from the sword. I used the star pickets, or the pickets, last time.
You managed to dislodge the crystal that had been set within the hilt of the sword almost a millennium ago.
We don't get anything unique there. Alright, so let me mix this potion. I will cut in next, wherever I cut in next. And it turns out it's right now, because apparently what I can do is go back into the cave, and I can wait for the enchanter to come back. I don't know what that accomplishes. At this point, I need to read that, go downstairs, break open the rock to get the bridle, and come back here, but apparently if I just wait here, the enchanter's going to rock up. If it happens, I'll cut it in.
You hear footsteps approaching.
There we go.
Uh-oh, the enchanter has caught you in his lair. He twirls his hands, aims them at you, and then utters some words under his breath. You feel a tingling sensation all over your body as the enchantment attempts to transform you into whatever the enchanter has fancied. At the same time, you also feel the comforting energy of the emerald shielding you. The enchanter's twisted smile turns downwards. He scowls at you. There is a look of panic on the man's face. He does not dare breathe.
Jesus, Graham.
I hereby order you to depart from Kalima forever, never to trouble its citizens again. lest you earn the fullness of my wrath.
The enchanter looks baffled. You sigh inwardly and try again.
Leave. If you come back, then you will get it.
The enchanter nods frantically, as much as he can without cutting his own neck on your sword edge. He gestures quickly with his hands.
Huh. Firstly, I didn't think that King Graham could actually make these decisions for Kalima. And secondly, look at this. The cave is completely bare now.
You are standing in an empty cave.
It is entirely bare except for the inscription on the right.
You notice that some writing has been engraved into the wall. You read the inscription.
I guess that's an easy way of finding us.
The engraving on the wall.
If I go downstairs now, well, I'll have to go downstairs. The enchanter should bother us no more. We just need to contend with that sodding dwarf. Alright, back later.
Take this sugar cube. It will protect against the poisonous growth of this land. There.
Did everyone in town who get invited to the wedding get one of those sugar cubes? Because if not, how did they get to the wedding? How did they get to the reception?
You'll need to walk.
I've not encountered possum in the woods yet. Apparently if we go here...
Oh, sir, have you seen my little granddaughter? She ventured to the town to buy food for me, but has not yet returned. I fear she may be in peril. The forest is not safe at night.
We say nothing, we just leave. Kind of rude. I don't know why I thought of hiding over there.
You watch.
I looked out and thought, that area looks a bit suspicious, and I walked over there, and then he randomly decided to come out the door.
Finding.
So there is definitely something I want to do in here. Let's grab the soup.
You grab that.
Grab whatever's in here.
Upon opening, among them,
coins. Now, if I don't leave quickly enough, he's going to rock up. In just a moment. Come on.
A rather simple. There is nothing under the rug except for dust. This could. You suspect. Ouch! There's no. The pit. You hear the sound of the door creaking, followed by someone descending the ladder in the next room.
And if we try to leave, we get ambushed.
Thinking quickly, you hide in the trunk.
Well, we can do this.
The dwarf has entered his underground hovel. Hopefully, he won't discover you in here. You sense that the coast is clear again.
He didn't say anything about his missing chicken soup. Okay. Well, let's get out of here.
It looks like the door creaked open again after the dwarf left.
Convenience.
You hear the latch.
Okay, so we found 4 points by reading library books. The 5th point is in here. And I was right, it had something to do with that coffin pillow. We're going to show him the ring. He's also going to confiscate the crucifix. Skip through all that. And then what I can do here is look into the coffin. And it's there.
At long last, you have located the final gem, the Death Gem. You breathe deeply, reach out, and take the stone in your hands. It is ice cold to the touch, but you don't care. This is the last thing you need to unlock the door of destiny. Now all you have to do is get out of here.
The gem was under the pillow the entire time. But, well, you saw what happened in the main playthrough. It wasn't there, and that's because we inspected the coffin after we came out here and after we tried to escape. At that point, the coffin was completely empty, apart from the pillow. It's so curious though, because I'm carrying all 3 gems, but what's going to happen is, well, you'll see in a moment. I'm going to try escaping this tower. We actually lose a point here. We're at 118, and it's about to go down to 117. We've lost the points.
Our guest has awoken, my love.
And I've already checked this.
Ah, good. I am Count.
A pleasure.
In gratitude to you, you will forgive.
You shudder to think what different tastes.
Indeed. So much.
You shall have all the time. Should the father locate.
Has this
what is the item?
To do with
most my obligation.
You are.
But yeah, I did check this last night on the previous recording. This dialogue does not change.
What were you?
Kill. I had quite.
But if you are not.
They both.
Tell us, King Graham. Why are you here in Colima?
We're looking for the Death Gem.
You take a deep breath, trying to ignore the fact that you are the only one capable of doing so, and relate your story of the vision in the magic mirror and your quest to find the 3 gems of nature.
Romancing.
Obviously.
So you search. On that I cannot. However, there is the matter of the dark gem you wish to remove from my castle.
He's holding the gem again.
I place a deal before you. I am looking for a magnificent sapphire-encrusted tiara. This castle and its estate are old, though. I wish to, if you can find.
I can't say for certain why we lost our points, whether it was because we lost the Death Gem, or whether it's because we just slipped and fell. I think it might be the latter, because I think that happened on the main playthrough. In which case, picking up the Death Gem is actually an additional point. Right, so something else that I missed, which I'm not happy about, because you wouldn't think of doing this. Really. Not unless you've played the original, perhaps, and I have played the original, and I did not think of doing this. Coming back from Kaldor's place, we're heading to the church to dig up the other grave. We can go back here. Hey, you.
Oh no, a wolf is in the bed. It wears a long brown robe just like the one that monk at the monastery was wearing. You'd better get out of here fast.
Can I pat the wolf?
If you want to keep that hand, you had better get out of here.
Too late.
My, what sharp claws. All the better to...
Yeah, I've read that story. So basically it is RNG as to whether or not that wolf shows up. Same as the first game. But if he or she is not there, we can grab an item from the bed.
You lift the pillow and look beneath it. To your surprise, you discover a small bottle of ointment. A label on the side reads, Wolfbane. Being very careful not to smash it, you take the ointment and put it in your pocket. The delicate bottle has a label. It reads, Wolfbane. The bottle feels cold.
We did not get a point for that, but we'll be using it very shortly. Leaving the church, we get ambushed by a wolf.
Without warning, a wolf darts out of the dark forest and dashes towards you, and this time it's running directly at you.
And in the main playthrough, what I did is I just walked off screen. But what I can do instead is apply the wolfbane to myself. And that is worth points.
You rub the wolfbane ointment all over your skin.
Kinky.
Sensing the wolfbane ointment on your skin, the wolf quickly turns and flees back into the forest.
We have something to protect ourselves against wolves.
The wolfbane ointment has worn off.
Okay, never mind. Do we have any left? Nope, it's gone. So we cannot use it to protect ourselves at the ambush in the swamp. Although that does raise the question, could I use it at the ambush in the swamp instead? It probably wouldn't work terribly well. The walkthrough doesn't say to do that though, so I'm not doing that. Okay, let me continue on. Okay, I've got a bit of an issue. I've got the death gem, I'm visiting the librarian for the last time, and we're going to read the one book which we have read in the past. The general knowledge book.
Yeah. No, you have read every...
The librarian points to...
Okay, I apologize for skipping that. No more good books, but she gives us this one.
This book...
which we've seen multiple times. We get a point for that. And the issue I've got is that at this point I thought I would be at 152. Because on the main playthrough, before we crossed the bridge, we were at 146. I am missing 6 points unless I've miscalculated. I have found 5 of them, and one of them was for using the wolfbane, which we just saw, and the other 4 were for reading different library books. I can't express just how upset I am about that. But at this point, I don't know where to find the last points. I'll follow the walkthrough and I'm sure I'll guess it, but I don't see where the last point is. So what I might do, once we get out of here, is I might show the full playthrough of the Enchanted Land, just to see if I can figure out just what the hell I'm missing here. I've got to be honest, I've looked at the walkthrough quite a bit now and I do not see what I'm missing. Where was the additional points? We catch the fish. Eventually. Saw it over there. There we go. Alright, let's catch you. That's a point. We toss it back into the water. No, just like that. He says, "Thank you for not killing me."
Thank you.
We travel across, I can escape through that. That is worth a point. If there's one criticism that I've got of this, is this final puzzle here. Noticing that there's a patch of sand here that is discolored. I am partially colorblind, really, and I did not see that. It looks stained rather than a different color.
You hold your finger up in the air.
It's distressing, it really is. Let's touch that. We get the quartz, and we get the coconut. I mean, these two are very easily visible, especially that one. That one's very clear. But the one earlier, you could barely see that.
You can't.
We climb the tree to get the coconuts and we can activate the exit portal. Not sure what happens if we don't activate the exit portal now, but I'm not going to bother with that. I've been recording for about an hour and 40 minutes already and I've had enough. Let's walk over there. Actually, do I just need to do this, this and that? Fill it up. And using it there, that should bring us to 169. Very nice. Let's go back this way. And at this point, we are going into the tower. And I don't know how much of the logic I'm going to edit out of the main playthrough, but I'm embarrassed by that. I should have got that very quickly. I'm usually very, very good with logic puzzles, but this one stumped me, and it shouldn't have because it's directly from Labyrinth. We all know the answer.
As you suddenly,
the truth you will find. If you were to ask my companion if he knows the way through this door, he would answer.
Yeah, the easiest way is to ask this guy. He says yes.
If you were to ask my companion if he knows the way through this door, he would answer yes.
So both of them would say yes. Because one of them knows the truth and the other's lying, and he would say yes. So if he's saying the truth and he's lying, then that statement makes sense. But if he's telling the truth and he's lying, then he would say, yes, I know the way in. But this guy is a liar, so he would say no. But he's not saying no.
If you, the first carries all manner.
So this guy has the answer. Once again though, I really don't know where I'm missing the points. Walkthrough definitely says that if you use the ham here, you'll get less points. But I didn't do that. Oh, hang on. No. Here it is. So I use the opal here. We hypnotize the lion.
You dangle the shimmer. The court.
We grab his fur.
You scoop.
We get a point for that. We move past.
The lion.
No, we get 3 points for that as well. A total of 4. No. Okay, that was only worth 3 points. We get 3 points for hypnotizing the lion. And 1 point for picking up the hare. Apparently we can do this.
Distancing yourself from the lion as much as possible, you hold the emerald in such a way that the window's light passes through it and shines directly onto his tail. Instantly, something begins to happen.
I cannot tell you how much I appreciate what you just did for me.
You are welcome. Who are you?
At one time, I was Hagatha's suitor, when we were both much younger.
Look how skinny he is.
Believe it or not, she was quite attractive in her day. But during the course of our relationship, I fell in love with another woman. In a jealous rage, Hagatha transformed me into a lion to guard this door for the rest of my life. I have seen, or rather heard, many a pretty damsel spend the last of her days inside that room.
Valenice wasn't the only one?
Incidentally, I presume you have found the exit from this strange island?
Yes, but...
Then I shall bid you farewell. It is awfully drafty in here. Strange, I didn't notice that when I was covered in cat hair.
He's completely naked. His beard is covering his junk. Dang. The emerald has a use, or another use. That is worth 4 points, unlike the hypnotized solution, which was worth 3. That is our additional points.
You scoop the...
I did not realize that until the very end of the playthrough here, so... We missed 6 points. We missed 4 because we didn't read our library books. We missed 1 through the Wolfsbane. And we missed 1 right here. The death gem, getting the death gem early, did not count. Right, let's go get married.
You saw...
That's actually really cool. We were inside the dome the entire time.
We seem...
How did...
I've no...
We're up the dome, and that should be the final 2 points.
Inquisitively, you pick up the glass dome to inspect it more closely.
We're done.
What?
This?
I should...
You...
I don't know how much of this is skippable, so I think I'll just lower the volume for this part. Oh, that was an ordeal. But you know what, that was the best kind of ordeal. The post-game playthrough took about 105 minutes all up, which isn't too bad, but honestly, compared to the first two games, especially the EGA versions, it's much, much longer simply because of its emphasis on plot and dialogues and cutscenes and everything else. All in all, I can't believe that this actually exists. Coming off King's Quest I VGA, which was a one-to-one remake with only the barest of changes, this almost feels like it's a completely different game. The skeleton still exists, Graham is looking for a bride, he's still a very shallow man, and we're looking for 3 keys to get through a door. But almost everything else is different. For each key we have a sort of side quest that we need to do, like going into the Sharky's territory or answering questions from the clouds and figuring out a magic formula. Naked dude on the rise. And we've got the Count's Castle and the church, which feels like, well, it is entirely new content. And normally I would say that this is bloat or fluff or not really required, but it's done very, very well. And I'm shocked by how good this is. I can't say for certain whether these are good changes or bad changes, but I can say that these changes are incredibly high quality, and I really enjoyed going through them, seeing how the game had changed. But when you consider that this was made by AGD Interactive, basically a group of fans rather than Sierra officially, and it's this level of quality, with all of the voice acting, with all of the music, with all of the arts, this is incredible. It really is, and I couldn't be happier that I got the opportunity to play it. And if you're watching this, if you have a PC, you can play this as well. The download link is in the description below. I think regardless of what you feel about the changes, whether they go overboard or whether they're subtle enough that it... Nothing about this is subtle. It's a completely different game. But I think it's a very good game. I think regardless of how you feel about it though, I think we can all agree that this is a very high quality remake, and yeah, I'm shocked. I really am. I can't say much else, other than I'm very scared about King's Quest III. I've heard some horror stories about the EGA version of that, and what on earth is a VGA version going to do? Will it change things again? We'll have to wait and see. Alright, well I've got about 11 hours of footage to edit. Let me get this done and we'll take a look at King's Quest III, the EGA version. Back in a sec.
Congratulations! You scored the full 185 points. Thanks for playing. We hope you enjoyed King's Quest II, Romancing the Stones.